What's going on all you gamers? Here we are back with some more Outriders, and today I'm going to be going over a nice little setup that I find with the molten eidola. Now this gun is very underused but a very fun weapon to use when it is. So if you want to see how I use it and what I think works really well, then stay tuned, that's coming up next. Welcome back, you guys and girls. As always, for all things gaming, for all things Xbox, then why not hit that subscribe and bell icon? I will bring you all the latest and greatest in gaming, and of course a lot more Outriders on the way. But for today, you're here to see this gun, a gun that not many people use. It absolutely looks amazing, it really does, but it hasn't quite got what some of the other guns have got, and that is it isn't fully spec'd into that firepower aspect. What this one does, it kind of makes things a little bit easier to deal with, but it does still do a fair chunk of damage. So if I go over to this right here, so the molten eidola. This is a one-shot variant rifle, and it comes with a crit damage, healing received, and long range damage. Crit damage, really nice, always good on any gun. If you're struggling to survive, chuck this gun on, see how your playstyle is, see if you enjoy it. You very well may really come to love this weapon. It just helps you survive missions. Shots create a swarm of locusts, dealing 258,466 damage over 10 seconds and inflicting weakness to enemies remaining within a 6 meter radius of the target. Basically, hit that on a big ad like an elite or a boss, and everything that's around him will just kind of be a lot easier to deal with. They'll be afflicted with weakness, which means, if I remember correctly, I believe they hit 30% kind of less, so they do 30% less damage than normal. It's on an 8-second cooldown, so basically you'll be able to apply it every 8 seconds to someone, and just make sure that enemies you're fighting are always weakened, always doing a lot less damage to you or you and your teammates. Now here's the thing that I've put on it, which I think is an absolute beast, and if you're playing at a little bit of range, this can absolutely decimate everything, and that is scrap grenade. The first shot after reloading becomes an anomaly projectile, dealing 226,157 damage in a 5 meter radius. It's on a 1 second cooldown, basically meaning we can do this. Because it's on the molten eidola, every single shot will proc this. It makes it so that you will do a big boomstick explosion, you're going to get a lot of damage, and this mod will definitely be one of the highest damage mods in the game, as long as you're hitting lots of targets. Lots of smaller targets to medium targets is perfect. The bosses, this will also work because you're going to be applying that first kind of weakness to it. You're going to get that extra added damage of the 257 tick damage, and then what you'll do is probably swap to something else to try and get a bit more damage, or put some skills in that will do a lot of damage to single target. It's definitely not going to be the best for single target, but it will do a fair chunk. But I'll show you what it's like in game and you can decide if it's for you. Right, so if we take some shots, if I show you that air effect just there, you can see how much damage it really is doing. Probably not dying will help a little bit, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, just from that, 323,000, and that's because I put a slight debuff on them. So basically, when you're putting your extra buffs on, so extra 25% damage there, and I can boost that all the way up, and then if I take a shot, I didn't even see what that was, but yeah, it's a lot of damage. It's an absolute lot of damage. So if we try on this fella, so boost it and then take a shot, and it is absolutely, that's an elite, and it's tearing him apart. Now obviously I would be using a lot more skills, I would be trying to stay alive a lot more, but just to show you, when you use it in conjunction with certain playstyles and certain builds, it really is effective. Just to show you roughly, so 636,000 damage in that air effect. and I'm not even trying, I'm just roughly showing you what this can do to absolutely decimate people. So without anything, I'm doing that, and look how much of their health is going down. This is tier 15. I'm not actually using my skills or trying in the slightest. As you can see, I'm on 3 minutes because I'm just running around just showing you what it can actually do, but I think we can agree that is absolutely ridiculous damage. So yeah, for me, I think this is absolutely amazing. I sometimes put it in conjunction with my death shield. I sometimes must admit I do just stick with my death shield, but this is definitely worth having in your arsenal, and it just works so well in certain playstyles. For pyromancers that don't have a death shield, I would say this is one of the best things to have. Even if you have a death shield, you may well use this as kind of a secondary backup gun to swap over to, take those shots, absolutely decimate an area, and just mop up some extra adds. It does a ridiculous amount of damage, and it's a really fun choice. For every other build, honestly, this is still such an amazing gun. Anyone who can use this, anyone who can get used to the playstyle, because it does have a little bit of, I want to say bullet drop, but I'm going to go with purple glowy orb drop. Yeah, you've kind of got to get used to it, but it is well worth it. Does a ton of damage, and it's a lot of fun to use in a lot of playstyles. Another thing, because it's mods, you don't even have to worry about the firepower. I have no firepower on this build whatsoever, and as you saw, I hit upwards of 623,000 because I put some debuffs on them and stuff. So if other people are doing that and they're putting vulnerable on, this will hit like a truck and decimate people. Now, one thing to note just at the moment, depending on when you're actually watching this video, if people can fly haven't actually managed to fix this entirely, then sometimes when you come out of a cutscene, you're gonna want to wait at least 2 to 3 seconds before you shoot this gun, or use this mod on a gun, because when you are using it, sometimes it bugs out after that cutscene. It's very strange, a little bit odd, don't know why. Either swap to another gun before the cutscene and don't use this one, or use some skills after the cutscene and then go on to use the gun, because that way it should be all cushy. Right, as always, I hope that's helped. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you maybe give this gun a little whirl, as not only does it keep you alive, I was just running around in there just testing it out, and I wasn't dying in the slightest. It's really good. The weakness effect is amazing. It does that locust, and it gives that big boomstick where you put on the scrap grenade. Absolutely amazing, a really nice gun, and I would say a very unique playstyle. As always, take care, I'll see you on the next day.